Capacity isn't a time issue. It's what your body could actually hold. And I did not realize this for the longest time. I used to think if I could just get more time, if I could organize my calendar better, if I could be more disciplined, or maybe if I finally stopped procrastinating, everything would just start to click. But what I started to notice was that even when my calendar was perfectly organized and I had all this space to do whatever I felt like, I still couldn't do the things that I needed to do. And it was so unbelievably frustrating. I would sit down to work and I'd immediately feel overwhelmed. I would open my laptop and just stare at the screen. Like I couldn't figure out where to start. I would reference my to-do list. I would know exactly what needed to get done, but it didn't matter. My brain was just like, nope, not happening. We're not doing this. And then I would start thinking, what was wrong with me? There was tasks on my to-do list that were so minor, but I just couldn't get them done. And I was questioning, why can't I do this? I knew exactly what I needed to do, but no matter what, I just found something more entertaining to do. Procrastination is a huge thing for me. But then once I finally push through and get whatever I needed done, I would immediately crash right after and just feel exhausted, no matter how small the task was. And that part was so frustrating to me. I couldn't understand. It was simple tasks like just responding to an email saying, hey, I got it, I'm working on it, was draining to me. And I just could not make sense of it. I would look at my to-do list and think, okay, that's not that big. I could get that done. It doesn't feel like too much, but then internally it felt like way too much. I just couldn't do it. But what I slowly started to realize was there is a point that no matter what you have to do, the smallest little tasks will feel like an uphill climb because I maxed out my capacity. It did not matter how much extra time I could squeeze in my calendar, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. No matter what, I was not going to be able to get done what I needed to get done because I had maxed out my capacity, not my time. So it didn't matter if I was able to squeeze an extra 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour into my calendar. I had maxed out on my capacity. So no matter how much extra time I had, my body was screaming, no, we're not going to do more. And I think this is where so many people are. You think you need more time. Your body is already at the edge of burnout, reaching that capacity, and you kind of know it. But instead of listening to your body, we try to fix it. We try to push. We try to be more efficient. And we try to get it together. Because if we could get it together, then we'll have more time to accomplish everything on our to-do list. And we're just going to feel amazing and life will just be perfect. This is never going to happen if your body's already saying, this is too much. Nothing that you do to try to fix this is going to make it work. And what was so difficult about this for me is I knew everything I had to do was possible. I could get it done. My body was obviously screaming for a break. I was not actually giving myself time to just rest, to just be. Because your body could only hold so much, no matter what you were trying to accomplish. And when I started looking at the broader scope of all that I'm trying to do, it brought me back to the one thing that I could always trust, and that is my body. And there's a part of me and you that already knows exactly where your capacity limit is, what your body is able to hold and accomplish at the same time. And it's actually in your human design that could help you understand the energy of where you're trying to push past your own edge. And this is in your earth gate in human design. And for me, that is gate 30. Gate 30 is all about passion. So no matter what I'm doing, if I'm not actually lit up by what I'm doing, if the enthusiasm and passion behind it is not there, my capacity is going to drop fast. So I need to pepper in more points of my day where I'm just really enthused for what I'm doing. So it totally started to click. All these little pieces of like, oh, okay, when I sat down on my computer, I was not really feeling enthused about what I needed to do. And so instead of listening to that and choosing something that brought me a little more excitement, I ignored it. And I just said, well, I have to do this. And I'd push through. Or I would just tell myself, this is part of running a business. You have to push through. That's how you be successful. But it was always costing me. All these things I was doing that were draining me, my body was slowly resisting everything. So yes, it got to the point where my body was like, no, I don't want to do anything. I had maxed out my capacity. And what that looked like was no matter how big or small the task was, it took 10 times more effort for me to get it done or even just started. That was the hardest part, was just to get started. My body had so much resistance. So it really doesn't matter if you feel you need better time management. Because if your body is resisting moving forward, it doesn't matter what you try, it will not allow you to do it. Yes, you could push through. Yes, you might see some success, but if there's not the capacity there, you're going to feel drained, exhausted, and tired 100% of the time. You might initially wake up excited and joyful, but for me, even if I did wake up excited for the day, once I sat down to start working, my body was just like, oh, well, all your energy just went out the door. And it was so frustrating. So what I really started focusing on was understanding my earth gate and the passion, what actually made me excited and gave me enthusiasm to get the job done. The more I peppered into that, the more that my energy started coming back. And this might look different for you, but you'll feel it when you understand what the energy you need in your day to expand your capacity. Those little touch points. So I might not always be able to do things that make me really enthused, feel excited, but I pepper in moments in the day. So like pretty much anytime I step outside for just 5 minutes, take a few deep breaths, feel the sun on my face, that brings me excitement. It kind of like livens me up. And that little touch point between clients, between just computer work, really brings my energy back. So instead of just staring at my computer, watching the little cursor go around as I try to click things to search for that excitement, I actually just get up and go do something that excites me, because I know even just 30 seconds of something that excites me is going to bring me so much more energy to come back to the computer and be like, bam, okay, I can knock this out. It's so important to understand this. And once I did, just everything started to click. Instead of guilt tripping myself, shaming myself, questioning, why does this feel so damn hard? Once I realized it wasn't a discipline problem, that I had to fix myself in some way, it was truthfully, I needed to go fill my cup first before I would be able to start my work. What expands your capacity might look different for you. You might feel it in your day-to-day, but go take a look at your earth gate, and that will give you a huge clue to what your capacity is. But it's really key into moments where you're feeling like, why does this feel so damn hard? Why do I feel so tired sometimes from something that just seems so minor to just, why can't I get it done? I want you to know it's not a discipline problem. It's just your nervous system saying, we don't have the space for it right now. And notice, not right now, but that doesn't mean that tomorrow, an hour from now, that you will have the capacity for it. For so many of us, and me included, it's so hard to listen to what our body's saying. Instead of listening to our body, we override it because we think we should be able to handle more, that we are successful, we're accomplished. People look up to us, so we should be able to do all of this. We see other people doing it all, and we think, why can't I? And that is the exact moment most people burn out. Not because they are literally doing too much. It's because they're doing things that their body can't actually hold in this moment. And when you just keep pushing through, ignoring your body, you kind of get in this loop. You try to fix the capacity problem with more time. And when that doesn't work, you think, okay, I need a new strategy. I need to go search for the answer. I need to go hire someone. I need to go take that course, read that book, do all these other things. But do you notice you're just trying to do more on top of not being able to do what you already need to do? It's very ironic, but that is so often where our mind goes to. So you're thinking, I need more time. How do I get more time? Help me get more time. But maybe you're just at your capacity and you've been ignoring it. It really can be that simple. Why am I doing more when I can't handle what I'm trying to do? It's like procrastinating. It's like, okay, let me go do all these other things, but then it's still ignoring what my body's saying. My body needs a little space to breathe and tap back into those things that actually excite me. And I think that's the hardest thing for so many of us. And it's not necessarily something that's going to click overnight. And for me, this has been a continual process. Every morning I sit down on my computer, and if I'm not feeling it, I start tapping into my body, doing deep breathing and thinking, okay, what would bring me some excitement? What's that one thing that would bring me a lot of joy right now? Because I know it's, kind of cliche, but the more that you fill your cup, the more that your capacity is going to grow. And understanding my earth gate has been really the key to understanding how my cup wants to be filled. So the next time you get in this loop of trying to fix your capacity problem with more time, I want you to remember that there is nothing wrong with your time. You're just at capacity and you've been ignoring it. Until next time, keep rebelling, keep rising.